Welcome to Edinburgh. I'm Robert and I'll be your guide on this tour. The Old Edinburgh walking tour lasts approximately 2 hours and takes your class around the city's magnificent Old Town. This short video will answer 3 questions you might have about this Old Town exploration. What learning questions can we cover on this tour? Well, your class will probably have come up with a wide variety of learning questions themselves. The standard tour will cover questions such as, what was it like to live in the Old Town? Who were some of the most famous people in Edinburgh's history? And we will cover Greyfriars Bobby and Mary Queen of Scots, and if you want we can also look at Deacon Brodie and the slightly more grisly Birkenhair if you wish. How has the Old Town changed? How long did people live for in the past? Now your classes will be exploring the answers to these questions in places which are directly relevant, often whilst using evidence which is linked to that location. If you give me enough warning I can try and tailor the tour to what your learners might be most interested in. What route will you take on this tour? The tour route's been chosen very carefully because it's got lots of learning opportunities and keeps walking and crossing of roads to a real minimum. I'll meet your class in Greyfriars Kirkyard. We'll go around the burial ground and do a bit of exploring in here. Greyfriars is a great place to spend the start of your tour. We'll spend about half our time here. The past is all around us. It's relatively quiet and it lets your class get to know me and use some evidence to do some comparison work between evidence today and evidence from the past. We'll compare Greyfriars Kirkyard with how it looked in the past, and then we'll head out into the Old Town. We'll walk down Candlemaker Road to the Grass Market and we'll hear about a wedding party which followed exactly the same route as the children have just followed. Then we're there, we might do some then and now image comparison as we walk up the West Bow on our way to the famous Royal Mile. We can find out just how history-packed the Old Town is when we hear about a link to Mary Queen of Scots, and we'll get to see a famous and very rich Old Town building before we visit a typically legendary Old Town close. This tour will end at the site of the Tolbooth prison. Now if it's quiet, we'll rebuild some of the walls using the class themselves. Now I'll be telling stories throughout the tour, but this isn't a purely expository trip. Your class will use a variety of types of evidence throughout the tour. Your learners will each get a set of laminated sheets, and on this tour there are green sheets for one of the partners and blue for their friend. This means that throughout the tour we're encouraging the class to discuss things with each other. On this tour your pupils will use archive images, old photographs, parts of a map of 1647 that's still followable today, physical evidence such as buildings and streets, artefacts such as memorials, graves, the Flodden Wall itself, and a replica of a rather nasty tool. Thank you for watching this video and for considering historic Edinburgh tours for your class learning experience. Now we know you might want to discuss specific needs for your learners, so please email me and we can look into what you want this trip to achieve for your class.